everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Random Conversations. I'm Danielle.
And I'm Noel.
And we're back with another filled episode with a bunch of topics. So, I be scrolling through Instagram and through TikTok, and I saw this this article. So, a woman wants to sue her ex for stealing her childbearing years. Is she losing her mind? So to give you a little bit more context, she's 34 years old and she wants her ex to pay for IVF or egg fertilizing or egg freezing since he wasted her time and her childbearing years. I say go for it. Even though she's not going to win in court, because I don't think this is something that you could sue for. And a columnist who deals with like legal stuff like this said that she might not be able to win in court for that.
Well, if anything,
unless there's evidence showing that he did waste her time those years. Like if there's substantial evidence to show that, yes, this man wasted, I don't know how long they were together. She didn't say how long they were together. Oh, he wasted 10 years of my life. And he probably, like, there's some type of evidence saying that, oh yeah, I'm wasting this girl's time. Maybe she has a case. But if there's nothing substantial, then what is she fighting for?
What would that evidence even look like?
That's what I'm saying.
Right?
Like, you don't know. So how is she going to win? But then again, you never know, because we're going to talk about this later, but there's another case where there's evidence showing a certain thing, and this person ended up winning.
But that's a different topic. Situation
it's a
altogether.
Different situation, but who would have thought something like that you could sue for? We'll get to that
later. There's precedence for it.
There is.
Yeah, I think that's the stupidest thing I ever heard. And if they allow for something like that to happen and she wins, I can just see the floodgates opening up.
Because there's a lot of men out here wasting women's time.
No, I think there's a lot of women out there wasting their own time. We all adults at the end of the day, and everybody always tries to pass the buck in terms of responsibility. You're responsible for your own life, right? So you're dealing with a guy. And say you're in your 30s, maybe like 32, 33. So your biological clock's ticking, right? And so you have these conversations with your dude after you see a year or two go by and nothing's really progressing in a way that you want it to progress. Then you have a conversation. You say, "Hey, where do you see us in the next year or two?" Right? Because
what if the man keeps gaslighting? And saying, "Oh, it's gonna happen. Year
that's your
in,
fault.
Year out.
That's your fault
and it
again.
Never happens. It is. Yeah, it's your fault. But this is somebody that you deeply love and you see yourself marrying. Mm-hmm. So of course you're gonna take what they're saying into heart and into consideration.
My thing is, if that's someone you deeply love, then you would we just taking this scenario, right? Because in this scenario, I feel like if you deeply love someone, right, you're not going to turn around and sue them for wasting your childbearing years unless that love is turned to hate and now scorn.
That's probably
right?
What
it seems like she's trying to get back at him any way that she can, some sort of, and women like to hit men in the pockets. That's the hardest way to hit us, because we're not really going to care if you go and move on. We're like, all right, you moved on, whatever. But
when you're done, I want to ask you something. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think she's out of her mind. Like you're a grown woman. You decided to stay in a relationship. You knew your biological clock was ticking. There's a time limit on when you can do certain things. If you decide to stick around and let the clock run out on you, that's your fault. That's not his fault. He's doing what's best for him. You need to do what's best for you.
So what is in a man's mind when he's doing something like that?
Like what?
Being in a 10-year relationship, you have no intentions of marrying or giving your partner
this one is not about marrying. This is about children. So let's keep it specific.
Like saying, because she also wanted to marry, she's itching to get married and also bear children. Uh-huh. She's more so focused with the childbearing. But she's suing him for
childbearing.
Yeah,
so
but she also threw in the marriage in there, right? Mm-hmm. So what goes on in a man's mind? Say like you're with your significant other for 10 years and you have no plans with that person. Why do you string that person? Why do men, I don't want to say you in particular, why do men do that?
Right. So I'd like to start off by saying that you can't automatically assume that all men in this type of situation are stringing the woman along. Sometimes they enjoy being in a relationship, but they don't trust or believe in the institution of marriage, right? like I said before in previous episodes, you need to have conversations to kind of find out where your guy is at or your lady's at on these particular subjects, right? So, because I know I have friends who don't believe in marriage. They think marriage is just a scheme or whatever, right? And they're afraid to get married because you hear all these horror stories about how women take half of what you got and all of that stuff. And then forget about children and child support and all of that stuff, right? Well, this ain't Kentucky. In New York, it ain't 50-50 default custody, right? So you're going to be paying an arm and a leg in child support if you get caught up with the wrong woman, right? So a lot of dudes, even though you feel like you know your woman and you feel like she wouldn't do something like that, there's a lot of dudes going in and out of family court who felt like they knew their lady, and then turn around, she's trying to take him for everything that he's worth, right? So there's a lot of things in society that make dudes a little bit apprehensive about getting married and having children. They might really want to be with you. They just don't want to sign that piece of paper. So it is not them stringing you along. They're probably afraid to lose you, which is why they're not telling you exactly how they feel about the institution of marriage or having children, but they still want to be with you.
So don't you think that in situations like that, like if you knew the woman wanted XYZ, but you don't want to lose that person, don't you think it's best for her, like for you to let her go so she could find that person that believes in the institution of marriage?
I think it would be fair for him to for that dude to let that woman go, but it's also he's doing right by himself by doing what's in the best interest of himself. If he feels that if he feels that the best interest for him was to be with this woman and to hold on to her for as long as he can, he's gonna go ahead and do that. If she feel right, so she should have been selfish for herself. This is what I want, so she needs to prioritize that. This is what he wants, and that's what he prioritized. I'm not gonna get upset with him because he's prioritizing what he wants out of life. She needs to be an adult and make the hard decisions. If the guy that you're with is not willing to give you what you want, can you make a concession about that? If not, you gotta roll.
But sometimes there are men out there that tell these women what they want to hear. And years go by and nothing's happening. And then the next thing you know, you're 34 or 35 with no kids.
You can still have kids at 34 and 35.
In a place where you didn't want to be at.
But you just hit on it. You said a key thing when you said you stick around for years and years and years. No one told you to stick around for years. No,
gaslighting happens a lot in relationships.
How many times you gonna fall for the same trick?
Gaslighting happens a lot.
You ever heard this? Fool me once, shame on me.
And there's people who wait 10 years and finally get a ring.
You ever heard this saying? Fool me once, shame on you.
I've
Fool
heard
me
that
twice,
saying,
shame on me.
But sometimes people bypass that. Because they feel like this is their person, so they're willing to wait.
That's their fault. That's your fault.
But so don't gaslight the other person, making it seem as if it's going to happen and then years and years go by and it never happens.
You know what you want and you know that there's a time limit on it. I could see if there is no time limit and you can have children anytime you want to.
The same reasons why you want to keep on to somebody that you know you're not going to marry is the same reasons they want to keep on to somebody. Because they feel like eventually their mind might change.
But there's no time limit.
That's being selfish also.
But there's no time limit on what I want. There's a time limit on what you want.
She could let him go to find somebody else that has the same wavelength as them.
Right.
Stating, oh, I don't want to get married either. But she's holding on to something. So people hold on regardless.
Yeah, but you're holding on and you're losing out on the most valuable asset that you have, which is time, especially for what you're holding out for. You want something that you won't be able to have in a few years, right? What he's holding out for, he can keep on doing that into perpetuity.
I don't think women are that naive to stay with somebody that flat out told you I don't want marriage and kids.
You'd be surprised. There's a lot of women who get with men and they know what they want and they think that they can
5-10 years.
You'd be surprised.
It could be like 4 years max.
There's a lot of women in unhappy relationships just holding on for no goddamn reason, and then they get upset with the man. He was who he was from the beginning. You wanted him to change. You thought you could change him. He didn't change. Well, you upset?
This story has context, and this woman was told that she was gonna bear his children, and she was also gonna bear his last name. Come to find out, he was just gaslighting her this whole time. I do believe that she should have some type of reparations for that.
No, that's BS.
I'm just saying, like, if the context,
no, but
you don't know the full context.
How do you know that he was gaslighting her? How do you?
I'm just saying.
How do you? Wait,
that's a part of the context that we don't know.
No.
I'm just saying. I said if.
Well, let's just talk about what we do know, right? Because my thing is, people change, right? People change, and that's the thing with society. Society. Like you see a group of people thinking a certain way, and you want to get them to think your way. So you try to change their minds. But whenever you see someone make a change, you want to call them a flip-flopper. You want to call them all type of names, right? People change. You go through different seasons in your life. That man might have wanted children with that woman, and then he saw something in her that he ain't necessarily like. And then maybe a couple months down the line, he felt she changed it, and then he started to warm up to the idea again until she did something else stupid. And he was like, you know what? Maybe I don't want to go that route. Things happen in relationships and in life that make people change the decisions that they were going to make.
Well, for this specific topic, I think context is needed. More context is needed. Because why she felt this way is very important.
My question is, do you think that a woman should be able to sue a man because they were in a relationship for X amount of years?
It depends on how the relationship is going.
What do you mean?
It really depends. If he's I keep saying gaslighting because it's a big thing. If he's telling you what you want to hear and making you promises, oh, we're going to do this, oh, we're going to do that, and it never comes into fruition, and boom, 10 years of your life is gone, and nothing that he promised you came to be, then yes.
So then,
but if he came in and was, oh, we're going to do this, and then he just backtrack, and then he does that, and he just backtracks. I don't think so. But if he was persistent with his promises, and he was persistent saying, oh, we're going to have kids, and we're going to do X, Y, Z, yes.
No, I think there has to be some onus on the woman for allowing a man to kick the can down the road for so long. Like, you got to wake up. You know what I'm saying? People need to be treated as adults. You grown. You're not a child no more. You don't have your parents to make your decisions no more. You've been through the slings and arrows of life to be able to make decisions.
Is also a part of that. So, because maybe she didn't want to let him go.
Right. And he didn't want to let her go. So she's allowed to be selfish, but he's not.
Cycle is both ways.
No, it's both ways. So she's allowed to be selfish and he's not, is what you're basically telling me.
Both of them are being selfish.
Right. So why should she be able to sue him?
Because he's probably gaslighting her, knowing damn well he didn't want XYZ with her, but him being selfish kept her.
I don't think it's gaslighting.
I think so.
I don't think
if you keep telling somebody, oh, we're going to do this and lying straight up to their face all the time.
I don't know. I think there's nuance and things change. Things change. People change. Especially if it's years in a relationship. You know, he could have been one dude in one circumstance. And then all of a sudden he's got a job. He's living by himself. He's looking at bills. He's trying to figure out how he's going to make his way in the world. And now he's prioritizing other things. Or maybe he's at the job and he's climbing. And he's
That's
like, I don't think I have time for children.
With this. And if she were to sue and he was telling her for years on out that we're going to have children and blah, 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 up until probably the day before they broke it off, I think she might have a kid.
Well, here's my thing. How old was she when they broke it off?
She's 34 right now.
Right.
I don't know.
So she could still have children. So I would go to the judge and be like,
but that would be considered a geriatric pregnancy.
So what?
She could have
she could still have children.
In her 20s.
I promised you that we would have children. I didn't promise you that you'd have children in your 20s. I didn't promise you'd have children by 33. I promised you that we would have children. You
Maybe
couldn't
she
wait.
Set a time
you
limit,
didn't have.
He didn't pass.
So who said that she has the power to dictate to me what the timetable is?
Well, you know about biologically how women are.
Right,
and
but
there's
34,
a certain
34,
time limit where
34,
women can have
30,
children.
34 is not the limit.
Not to say you can't have children at 36.
Yeah.
But they say that the chances of you having children later on in your life, they get less and less.
Yeah. And healthier children. But my thing is, he didn't promise her that they would have children by 33.
Well, we don't know the context. 34. I'm just speculating.
She said he gave my childbearing years. I'm
opinions out there.
But she could still bear children at 34. So her childbearing years, there are not many left, but she can still bear children.
But her case is she could have had it a long time ago.
Okay. But she can still have children.
And if the man was telling her or agreeing that he wants children around the same time that she wanted them, and years go by and nothing's happening, that's gaslighting. No. Especially if in his mind, he didn't want them in the first place.
Maybe he was just trying to get himself in a position to where he could take care of a family. And he wasn't there yet. So.
And that's another thing. Men aren't ready right away.
Okay. And y'all are. So y'all need to slow down.
Men aren't ready right away, and then they hold on, and that's why women hold on as well. Oh, he's not in the place where he wants to be in life. I'll wait until waiting. You can't wait anymore.
Yeah, keep waiting. Keep waiting.
Until you can't wait anymore.
She could have waited longer. She was only 34 years old.
He could use that excuse, but I'm not where I want to be in life.
She was only 34 years old. She could have waited a little bit longer.
That's not.
Now, if she was 44, maybe she might have had something to say.
She has a solid case and proof that she was told that she would have children by XYZ at a certain time frame, and it didn't come out to be that way. Try your luck and sue and see what happens.
If you're at a job,
people suing for a lot of stuff and winning.
If you're at a job and you see yourself in a certain specific place in life, you had a job at 30, you see yourself at a certain place in life at 40. And for you to get to that place, you need to be making a certain amount of money. So you're at a job, you like the job, and they keep promising you raises. And all of a sudden the raises stop, and you keep putting out the best work and making all the bosses happy, giving them reasons to give you raises, and they're not giving you raises. Are you just going to continue to give them your years of your life producing great work for minimal pay, or are you going to put your resume out there in the world and get a job that's going to pay you what you think you're worth?
I get what you're saying.
No, I asked you a question. What you going to do?
I'll put my resume out.
All right, then.
But not everybody thinks the same way.
I rest my case.
Not everybody thinks the same way.
Right, but what would you think of those people? You want a certain something out of your job. You feel like you deserve a certain pay. You earned a certain pay, and you're not getting that pay, and they just getting the most out of you for the least. What do you say to somebody who just sticks around and just keeps getting used and abused, as opposed to putting their resume out there and getting the job that they rightfully deserve?
But in a situation with relationships,
what do you say to somebody like that?
I already answered your question.
I said ask you what you would do first, and then I asked you what would you say to an individual with that type of mindset.
That you will have to go out there and explore your horizons. But in relationships, it's kind of different.
No, in relationships, you cut them loose. There's exes for a reason.
People leave their jobs all the time.
Yeah, people leave their boyfriends or girlfriends all the time. What are you saying?
I think you're comparing apples to oranges.
No, I'm not. I'm comparing decisions that adults make for the betterment of themselves. I'm just giving you another scenario. And this scenario is clear cut and easy, and everybody would choose that. Now, I guess you could say in the scenario that I gave you, which was surrounded about financial incentives and whatnot, you could say there's not too much emotion wrapped up in that. And whereas in a relationship, there's more emotion wrapped up in that. But emotion blurs logic. Logic dictates that you would get out of that relationship. Logic dictates that you would find someone who is on your wavelength.
What do people use more in relationships? Emotions or logic?
Well, men use logic.
And women use?
Emotion.
All right, then.
Well, that's y'all fault.
We can't help how we're genetically built.
Yeah, that's y'all fault.
We can't help how we're built. I'm sorry.
That's y'all fault.
And there has to be some type of middle ground.
There ain't no middle ground.
There is.
You want what you want. So there's certain things that that are non-negotiable. Everybody has certain things that are non-negotiable. And once you run up against that with a significant other, is either one of you acquiesce to the other, or you go your separate ways.
All right, so they went their separate ways.
Yeah, but now she want to sue him. It's like, no, just go.
But like I told you, there has to have we have to know what the context behind all this is.
No.
If he told her years ago, I ain't want no kids, and she decided to sue, she has no ground or leg to stand on.
She don't deserve no money. And
she has no leg to stand on if that's the case. But if this man was telling her that he wanted kids and he wanted a life with her and that never happened, I'll say it again. Maybe she has a case. Because why are you wasting my time?
She wasted her own time, and I'm gonna stand on that.
He's also helping.
She wasted her own time.
He's also a culprit in that.
She wasted her own time.
He's also a culprit in that.
She's an adult.
He's all don't use that.
She's an adult
because emotions override a lot of
and
stuff when it
her.
comes to relationships.
And
emotions override a lot of stuff when it comes to relationships.
Own time.
Emotions override a lot of things, and he wasted her time.
Say when emotions are high, logic is low.
He wasted her time. He could have told her this
She
long
wasted her
time
own time.
ago.
She wasted her own
He
time.
could have told her this. If he didn't want no kids, he could have told her that a long time ago.
Maybe he did. And her
And we don't know the
and
context
her
behind
emotions,
it, like I keep
her
saying.
emotions blurred her logic.
So speaking of suing, we're gonna go into our next topic, right? So there's this TikTok star. Her name is Brene Kennard. She it looks like she took her not her best friend. I think they're just friends. It looks like she took her friend's husband away from her. So the ex-wife, Atika Montag, is suing her. Actually, she sued her for $1.75 million, and she actually won. And what she sued her for was criminal conversation and alienation of affection. And I'm assuming the alienation of affection came from the husband, but that tied along because he was busy with the friend and not giving the wife
She's saying
the type
that
of affection that she wanted.
the friend was the root cause of that.
She was the root cause of the
affection.
alienation of affection. She claimed that it damaged her health and it also deprived her children from having a 2-parent household. The new wife, Kennard, is saying that she was given permission to date the ex-husband because the relationship was over. And the jury found Brene guilty due to over 700 pieces of evidence being shown during the trial. And Brene now says that, yes, she won, but she most likely won't see that $1.75 million.
Yep, good luck.
Yeah. So
That's crazy to
we
me.
were talking about suing, and she just had 700 pieces of evidence showing that this young lady was taking her husband away, and due to that, she wasn't getting the affection she needed in a relationship. They were having illegal conversations that shouldn't have been had because when you sign a marriage contract, you're bounded for life, and nobody should come and try to intersect in that. So she used that as evidence to say, like, hey, I think I need some reparations. I believe I'm due some type of money or monetary gifts for myself and my children because of all of the stress that I was put through. And I think she deserved it.
Nah, I don't think so.
You never think people deserve money.
No,
What's wrong with you?
I feel like you deserve money that you earn. I don't think that she earned that money. I think that ultimately too, I feel like the wrong person was punished.
The man should have been punished.
The man should have been punished because ultimately he signed the
But
contract.
it's taking out of his pockets too, because
ain't
now
taking out
that
of-
he's married to the TikTok star, they got married.
Right. Yeah.
He's married to the TikTok star. That money becomes their money.
Yeah, you
and
tell-
now he has to. They have to pay the ex-wife.
You tell the woman that he like, I don't know what you're gonna do, but you gotta pay that.
I
don't know
think
if
the
you're paying it in
reason why. I
installments
think
or
the
what.
reason why he went with the TikTok star is because
He was managing her.
He was managing her.
Yeah, he was her manager.
He was her manager, and also she was bringing in money because once you're a social media star, you get paid.
Yeah, but I don't
He
know.
followed where the money was.
I
Even
don't
though
know
him
about
and the
that.
wife, I saw that they were well off.
Right.
But
I don't think money had anything to do with it. He might have just been unhappy with his wife. But ultimately, I think that the new wife shouldn't have had to pay the ex-wife because it's the husband who signed the contract and who's beholden to those vows and things of that nature. If you want,
Yeah, but
if you
she
want to
came
make
in
someone
and
suffer, you
she
have
knew
to.
about it.
It doesn't
That's
matter.
the problem.
She's not beholden to her. She doesn't owe her that. If she sees happiness in his man, she should be able to pursue it. It's on him to stop her and be like, yo, I'm married. I can't do this. You know what I'm saying? It's on him. She's doing what's best for her.
And
He needed to do what was best for the marriage. He did what was best for him, and so his marriage fell apart. And that's the story. But to sue the new wife now for $1.7 million, I think that's crazy. I think that's crazy because she didn't owe her anything.
That was her friend. You forget that.
Yeah, but
That was her friend. They went
that
on
doesn't mean
double
anything.
dates together. She knew about. And even if he was unhappy in the marriage, you as a friend need to stay in your place as a friend and not try to get in between.
Am I saying it was right what the friend did? No. Do I condone it? No. But do I think that she should have to pay some sort of monetary sum
distress.
to. No, I think that's bullshit.
Alienation of affection.
I think it's
because
bullshit.
all the affection she should be getting has now been transferred to the friend.
But
that's where it went.
But it's probably a reason, because my thing is, when you look at the whole story and if you really pay attention to it, you see that he left her and married the other girl. So it wasn't like some sort of fling. He caught feelings. He fell in love with this woman and he married her, right? So obviously there was something in his marriage that he wasn't getting, right? He wasn't happy in the marriage. And the new wife said as much, that they weren't happy, right? I feel like the ex-wife is just salty because the kids may not have the luxury of growing up in a 2-family household, which is
the crazy part is
you can't,
her friend.
You're
forgetting
put
that.
a monetary value on that, but the father was still going to probably be in those kids' lives and take care of them. Yeah, and that was her friend. I don't know.
That was her friend.
People throw around the word friend very loosely. Not everybody you meet in life is going to be your friend. Could be your acquaintance, but not your friend. Not everybody has.
Her friend had to get it too.
Not everybody has your best intentions. This is a perfect example of that. Somebody you call a friend. That wasn't her friend. Never was. But that being said, I still don't think that she should be liable to pay the ex-wife money, because ultimately I feel the onus should be and always is on the husband or wife whenever someone else comes into that relationship and tries to break them apart. The onus is on you as a husband or you as a wife to put that outside party in their place and tell them, like, no, I'm married. You got to respect that. Right. So that's where I'm at on it. I just feel that the new wife wasn't beholden to anything. She didn't sign anything. You know what I'm saying? She's just doing what she felt was best for her. It was on the husband to make sure things didn't happen, and he didn't do that. But also the fact that he went and married that girl, it leads me to believe that there was things in that marriage that was already broken and he wasn't happy, which led him to seek happiness in somebody else, which he ultimately did. Should he have just gotten a divorce and sought happiness after that? Yes. In a perfect world, that's how it should have went, but that's not how it went. But ultimately, I just don't think that the new wife should be paying the ex-wife anything. I think that's ridiculous.
Oh, well, we're going to disagree on that because she knew. She knew. And
I'm looking at it from a outsider's perspective. I have no skin in the game, but I'm trying to take the emotions out of it.
She deliberately wrecked that lady's marriage.
I don't think she deliberately. You're assuming
she deliberately did that. She knew exactly what she was doing. She knew exactly what she was doing.
You're assuming that she deliberately did it. It could have been a situation where, because they were working together, he's managing her. All of a sudden, they just catch feelings. Did she intend for it to happen? I don't know. You can't judge intention from what we just read.
There's certain women that go into situations like that because they're envious of what the other woman has. Mm-hmm. The other woman had a husband. She has children. They had this, I don't know, stable foundation. And maybe the young lady was jealous of what the friend had. And then she was like, no, I want that for myself. She got in between, and now she has the man. Mm-hmm. Don't know if they're going to have kids in the future, but certain things like that, I
hope they do, because God forbid she sue him for $1.75 million that she lost because he took her childbearing years. Freaking ridiculous. You can sue anybody for anything.
You could sue
nowadays.
and you could win. Mm-hmm. You see how this lady won?
Mm-hmm. It's just sad.
I don't think it's sad.
It is sad. Because that was they made their new wife into a victim.
I don't know, because she's saying that how she was given permission and the marriage was already over, but we don't know if that's true.
Well, all I know is civil court, the burden of proof is not as high as criminal court, so there's a little wiggle room there too.
So sticking on the theme of relationships, a Harvard study shows that women who don't cook for their husbands have happier marriages. So I don't know about this. I'm not married, but I don't know about this because majority of men want women that know how to cook or can cook for them. Mm-hmm. So I don't
put a price
know
on that.
who Harvard talked to. I'm not sure. Maybe they talk to people who do a lot of takeout, who like to go out and eat in restaurants almost every day.
Or maybe they questioned the couples together, and the woman said they're happy, and the man had no choice but to say he's happy too, because he want to go home and have a decent night.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't cook. I mean, I do cook. I do cook.
Finally, the truth comes out.
No, I do cook. Very rarely though. Very
cook.
occasionally.
She doesn't.
I do cook for my son. Mm-hmm. I cook for him.
Macaroni and cheese.
No. I cook meals.
Yeah.
I cook rice. I cook chicken.
SpaghettiOs.
I cook spaghetti.
Chef Boyardee.
Spaghetti.
It's just boiled noodles and ketchup.
Boiled noodles and ketchup is crazy. Don't push your culinary skills on me. That's not what I do.
Hey, I got a wife. I don't cook. She cooks for me, and I'm grateful for it.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, but yeah, I don't know who Harvard talked to. I'm starting to feel like they talk to a lot of people that have like high careers. It's not regular folks like who works a 9 to 5. Yeah, I feel like they probably spoke to more affluential people, because this study, I just don't see it happening like in our life, in real life. I just don't see how marriages will last if the woman doesn't cook, or if the man there's certain men out there that like to cook for their wives.
Like if you find a man who loves to cook, then you're in business.
Yeah.
But there are definitely marriages where the woman doesn't cook, and maybe she can't cook, and the man is like, you know what? Don't even worry about it.
That means it's real love.
Yeah.
That means it's real, because damn, if I can't cook for you and you still love me, and you're gonna try to cook, or we just gonna do this takeout business, that's real love, right there.
Can you imagine takeout every damn day? That's ridiculous. Shit, that's your whole check.
That is your whole check, but it depends on the type of food you get. Mm-mm. If you get Wendy's, I think you could be well off for the rest of the week, or
all I know is
next time you get paid.
In my marriage, my wife cooks, and I'm happy that she cooks. And I can't imagine a situation where she didn't cook, because I just can't imagine.
So what? Like, imagine it though.
I don't think I'll be as happy. Honestly. Unless she'd have to be doing something else to compensate for that, and I don't even know what that would be, because she does a lot. I mean, it's a partnership. We do a lot of things together, but I don't even know what she would do to substitute for that. I mean, I really love and appreciate her cooking, so and she does a fantastic job. So I don't even know. I can't imagine what life would be like if I had to freaking look at a menu every damn day to figure out what I'm gonna have for lunch and dinner. Like,
I guess when I get there, whenever I get there, if I get there, I don't know. I'll step my game up. I cook for myself, and like I said, I cook for my son. It's very rare. Mm-hmm. I think it's because I don't have the patience to cook, and there's like a lot of steps to make things good. Like I can make some good stewed chicken. I could make some good lemon pepper chicken. I could make some, look at me advertising myself.
Yeah, she like, get in the comments.
No.
get in the DMs.
No, because I slipped up and say I don't cook. I mean, I do cook, but not as often as I should.
She don't
so
cook.
Maybe like when I do enter a relationship, I'll step my game up.
She'll make you a mean bowl of cereal.
But Harvard says I don't have to. So
yeah, listen to Harvard.
Harvard says
Let me tell you something.
So maybe I don't know.
You don't have to. But say if you and another woman are virtually the same woman,
and she
but one cooks and you don't,
that means the man don't love me like he said he do.
If y'all the same woman, the man
doesn't love me like he says he does.
Okay, whatever. If y'all the same woman, the man is gonna choose the woman that cooks.
Whatever.
It's a plus. It's a perk, right? It's something nice. And you can't measure how important it is. I think that a woman that can cook, because I'm kind of traditional in a sense when it comes to my marriage, and I feel like part of making a home is also making meals. So I just feel like you can't fully say like you're a homemaker and all that stuff, and then I come home and there's nothing on the table. It's just weird.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Harvard probably talked to a lot of influential people, probably a little bit more wealthy than the regular folks that are out here working daily. So I don't really. We'll see. Maybe I'll meet an affluential. I don't know.
You hope you meet an affluential person so y'all could just do takeout for the rest of, for the rest of your days.
Listen, honey, I got this great place we could go to. Let's do this tonight. Or maybe you could learn to cook together, like cook different meals together. Get a cookbook and like, okay, Monday we're gonna do this, Tuesday we're gonna do that, and make it fun.
You really look like like you really envisioned like this is how it's gonna be. It's gonna be so nice. Like
you experiment together with different cuisines. Make sure you don't burn the food, or just go to different restaurants. Oh, there's this nice little Ethiopian spot. Let's go here.
You seem like one of those women that if you did cook, you would only cook like a meal for that day.
That's what I do.
And that's crazy. You got to cook a meal that's going to last like 2 to 3 days.
2 tops. Third day, you're over it. Unless it's something you're
I'm someone that can eat. I can eat the same thing every day.
Unless it's something that you really enjoy, third day you're over it. Like I don't want this again. Spaghetti again.
Especially if it's delicious, I could eat it like 3 days in a row for sure. If it's mediocre, then I'm gonna be looking for something else.
I blame my family for that because that's how they operate.
That's how you.
We eat leftovers the next day. Don't let me see it in the fridge the the third day because I'm gonna be like, why is this still here? And I'm not eating it.
If my wife want to know if the food is good, all she gotta see is if I'm taking it for lunch for the second day in a row or the third day in a row. If I'm like looking for something else, if I pack a freaking peanut butter sandwich, I'm like, she knows it ain't it. Like you gotta go back to the drawing board with that.
Yeah. Well, okay. So you had presented me with this topic, right? About mall culture and its triumphant return. Apparently Gen Z is returning to the malls, hanging out leisurely in the mall. We don't know what they're doing. I guess they're just venturing into store to store and seeing that as a certain type of thing to pass time, right? I think mall culture was at its peak in probably like the 90s and the 2000s. If you could go to the mall and spend all day, like there used to be movie theaters inside of malls. They used to have concerts inside of malls. I guess the price of everything was cheaper, so you could go from store to store and leave with a whole bunch of shopping bags.
Yeah, you don't
right
really
now,
see that anymore.
You don't see that anymore. So in terms of Gen Z bringing it back, what exactly are they doing? Because I don't think there's movie theaters inside of the malls anymore for them to sit and watch a movie.
No, but they're hanging out outside. They're hanging out
where?
They're like you'll see them sitting in the hallways. You'll see them going store to store at the food court and stuff like that. You're thinking like King's Plaza. Like King's Plaza ain't much to do in there, but you'll still see them sitting around and just like chatting it up after school.
I feel like every generation
because they don't want to go to. But it seemed because
when I went
while,
to high school
years ago.
When I went to high school, the Barclay Center was up and coming, and Atlantic Mall, I think they had just built. I think it arrived in like 06, which was my freshman year of high school. I didn't necessarily go to Atlantic Mall because it was out of my way. Like I went that way and Atlantic Mall was that way. But sometimes after school, I hang out there with my friends. We go to the McDonald's or we go to the Buffalo Wild Wings that was upstairs, Boneless Tuesdays. And it was like 50 cents per wing. Then we hang out at the Target, things like that. So I feel like every generation, when you're young, you're going to the mall. Now that we're older, we're just going to the mall to actually shop and get out. Like that's the only purpose.
Well, most people are not even shopping at the mall. When you were like in your
20s, back in like the 90s or in the 2000s, you would go there to hang out.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing.
But we're not going there to hang out anymore.
We're grown. What the freaking mouth?
But I'm saying people are people our age. Sometimes they will go to the mall and just walk around and
like window shop. But people are not really doing that anymore. That's not something you do on a regular. Like teens and stuff like that used to hang out at the malls all the time. You go
They
after
still
school.
do.
No, they're doing it more now. Before, everything
I
about
don't think that ever ended, to
everything
be
about
honest with
everything
you.
about Gen Z was that they're on their phones. They're not really outside socializing. Now it's like they're taking back their lives. They're socializing, and the ground that they wish that they're choosing to engage in socialization is the malls. People are coming. They're coming back to the malls in a big way. 64% of their purchases are in store as opposed to online, which is different from millennials, which is different from all other generations
So
right
you don't
now.
think
in
they're
this
doing
time.
that to combat the notion that they're always in their phones?
Whatever they're doing it
You
for,
don't
they're
think that's
doing
a
it. They
part
said,
of a rebellion?
well, it was on the news, right? This is where I saw it, and they were questioning some of the kids as to what's bringing them back to the malls, and they were basically saying that they lost a lot of their a lot of time during COVID, right? And all of that stuff where they were inside and then they got accustomed to being inside, but now they want to kind of reclaim what they lost and kind of go back into the real world and socialize with their peers in real life, right? These are words coming from the children, right? So you can see like there was a lull there where a lot of brick and mortar stores were closing down. Everyone sees it. Most of the stuff, everything was starting to gear more so to online, right? Now it seems that the brick and mortar stores have life again because the younger generation are going back to the stores. And if that's the case, that means that things are trending upwards because Gen Alpha coming behind them is probably going to follow suit. Unless we get set back by another pandemic, God forbid, things should start to. That was the first sign to me of normalcy.
Yeah,
because we never really returned. We never really returned to normal. It used to be a point in time you go to King's Plaza on a Saturday, and it was just like jam packed, and then forget about it on a holiday.
King's Plaza
you only go there if
down
it's like last
even before the pandemic.
Nah, I don't think so because when they renovated it and stuff like that, it looked real nice.
Because the stores that they have up in there is like
they got all the stores you want to shop at. You got Zara, you got H&M, you got
they closed down the H&M.
Well, now. But you said before the pandemic. Before the pandemic, they had all of that. The only thing is the big change that they made was when they got rid of Modell's.
I don't know. I feel like there's certain stores that need
now they got Shake Shack
in there.
You see, and I think they're putting a lot more restaurants and stuff like that because the kids are just going there after school to freaking kill time. They don't want to go straight home.
They need to put the movie theater back at King's Plaza. That's what they need to do. Yeah,
that would be nice.
That was
do
epic.
Like a nice.
I used to love going to that movie
and that
theater.
was a shitty movie theater. But the thing is,
it was the movies anyway.
You remember it with fond memories because you're a child. You know what I'm saying? So you didn't know no better.
No, but
so
I was a teenager still going to that movie theater.
Still, because I used to think that going to Court Street downtown Brooklyn was like the best movie theater that ever existed. Now that I'm older and I can go around the tri-state area and stuff like that.
Like the Nighthawk.
You're like, whoa.
That's the best.
Nah, the Nighthawk is okay. It's not even
I
all
love
that.
I love the food. The food is the best thing.
That's all you care about. I care about the actual experience. The screens are small. The theaters are small.
The experience is great. It's very retro.
Yeah.
If you don't, if you don't
the
embrace
movie theater,
retro, then you're not gonna like it.
It's very niche. It's okay.
Yes.
It's not. It's
your
nothing.
niches is different from everybody else's niches. I like the food and I like the retro aspect
she
of it all.
Because it looked like you watching a movie through a 1970s TV
and
screen.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like it. I love it.
I want to see the movie how it was intended to be watched. You know what I'm saying? If the movie was made with 4K cameras,
got you messed up. That's why.
No. Just because I don't. I appreciate the retro. It depends on the movie. But if I'm going to go see a movie like Avatar, I'm not going to go to the Nighthawk to see it.
You watch movies like Avatar. I don't. So that's what you like. I like other stuff.
Yeah, she old lady.
I'm not an old lady.
She like what's that?
I like to watch indie movies.
What's that silly ass movie you watched?
What silly ass movie
with the Pope and shit? What was that?
Oh, Conclave.
Yeah.
Listen, it got
she's over there talking about you watching Conclave. You gonna go watch
Conclave? It got
Conclave?
nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah, I saw it.
Your bum ass movies don't get nominated for shit.
What are you talking about? Avatar got mad nominations.
Whatever.
She out of control.
You watch a lot of bum ass movies.
I watch movies that everybody go see.
Yeah, whatever.
She watched these little niche things about
the Pope,
the Catholic Church. Who gives a shit?
I do. You don't love Jesus.
I love Jesus. I just saying. I mean, and you know what? all thing honestly, Conclave was pretty good too. I ain't gonna lie.
Exactly.
I did watch it.
And you know
when
I'm
they
gonna
streamed
see,
it.
and you know what movie I'm gonna see at the Nighthawk? The Devil Wears Prada. That's the next movie I'm gonna go to the movies to see.
I didn't see the first one, and I'm damn sure I ain't gonna see the second one.
You need to see the first one. It's the best.
It ain't got nothing for me on that damn.
I love it. That's
movie.
one of the best movies.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, so yeah, Gen Z's going back to the malls. They're recouping for lost time. Like I said, it's like some type of rebellion. I don't want to say it's like a bad rebellion.
A rebellion. What are they rebelling against?
The fact that we associate them with always being on their phone.
I think that we put them on their phones. We allow them to be on their phones for freaking 12 hours a day. We allow them to stay in the house and do nothing. We allow them to play freaking video games.
Exactly. So now they're saying we're not, don't try to lump us in and associate us with the phone or any type of technology. We also like social interaction as well.
You can't control Gen Z. You see, they done toppled 2 governments already. So
we like social interaction as well. Gen Z
ain't playing.
So
I kind
don't
of like
lump us into that. And that's what they're doing. They're trying to get out into.
They're a generation that is free thinking, and they're gonna do what they want to do.
Yeah, just like millennials.
Right. No, millennials, we're not as free as these kids. These kids is a whole new thing.
I don't know about that. I feel like we're three.
Millennials are cool. I love being a millennial, and I wouldn't change it for anything because we kind of like got the best of both worlds. We had analog and we got digital. You know, we kind of children of 2 worlds, like I said, right? So we got to experience everything before and after, so we know how to survive.
Yeah. Like how you said, Gen Z is doing their own thing. They are. We're not always on our phone.
Yeah, but we weren't born with the phones. These kids got phones going into freaking like the 1st or 2nd grade.
That's what I'm saying.
I didn't get my first phone. I didn't get my first phone until I was like 16 years old.
They're straying away from that, and you're seeing it in the 64%. 64% of them are going to the mall instead of online.
64% of them are making their purchases.
Yeah, they're making in the store instead of
online. 64% of their purchases, I should say, not 64% of millennials, but 64% of the purchases made by Gen Z
are inside the stores. So that means they're inside the stores. Just
wrap this up.
So my name is Danielle.
And I'm Noel.
And this is another episode of Random Conversations. You can
like, subscribe, comment, follow us on all the social media platforms. TikTok, True Social. No.
I'm saying you're not going to say True Social.
TikTok. I said TikTok. On your TikToks, on your TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. You know, make sure you comment underneath. Tell us how you feel about the episodes. Give us some feedback, positive, negative. I don't care. We want to get better for y'all, give y'all a better product. And also, if you guys have any other topics that you feel that you want us to cover, you know, just put it in the comments and we'll look at it. We'll look into it. Most likely cover it.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Oh, really?